All right, y'all, it is time for another video. We got two new palettes from Oden's Eye. So I created this beautiful look, but we have some things to talk about, or I have some feelings to go through and some emotions to go through. So come on in, let's get this video started. Hey guys, this is Ashley. Welcome on back to my channel. So I'm finally getting this video together. Honestly, it took me a little bit too long to film these two palettes. So I have 2 out of the 3 palettes from the Oden's Eye Perfect World collection. And this is actually a collaboration between 3 collaborators who are actually really good friends. So we have Baddie Bean, we have Lauren Mae Beauty, and we also have Makeup Just for Fun. But before I get carried away, let me go and introduce myself. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. And if you're oldie but goodie, welcome on back. My name is Ashley. I have a doctorate in pharmacy and I love makeup. So that's how you get Dr. Ash and her makeup, but please just call me Ash or Ashley. And eyeshadow really is my jam. It is one of my most favorite things to talk about here on my channel. So as I just mentioned, I have 2 out of the 3 Oden's Eye palettes. So these palettes actually released, I want to say on Valentine's Day, yes, because it was this release basically at the same dang old time. So it was this release that launched at like 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, along with the GlamLite Chucky palette that also launched. So I got this, and then I ran on over to GlamLite to get this. Now, it is 3 palettes. I did just mention that, but I decided to only pick up 2. So I did not pick up Baddie Bean's palette because although I felt like it was gorgeous, I'm going to stick like a picture here, it just didn't really speak to me. It's a little bit more tropical. I do like color, but I think I'm realizing like punches, a color like those orange and the pinks and the greens and the things like that together. Yeah, I don't know. But so I decided to go ahead and get that. But congratulations to Baddie Bean for another successful collab. Now, each palette retails for about $33.95. They are having a final restock of these products come March 25th. So this video should be up before then because it is actually March 13th. The shipping was pretty fast. Now, Oden's Eye is a Swedish indie brand, so it does take a little bit of time to receive your products. The shipping was pretty fast. This was not a pre-order, so it got to be fast. I probably had these palettes in my possession about 2 weeks, a little bit longer. I got sick. I talk about that in the GlamLite video, and then when I was also doing the Eyeshadow video. So my autoimmune issues were like just acting up, so I just had to take like a chill pill and chill out, okay? So like I just mentioned, I have 2 of the palettes here. So this is the first one. This is called the Sea Talk palette. So here she is. And this is the one with Lauren Mae Beauty. And originally when I saw the picture, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I don't know how to feel because, you know, like Oden's Eye kind of like does that frostiness over their pictures. And I was like, they all look pastel. So I was like, this is not for me. And then when the pictures came out, I was like, oh, they're like pastels, but not really pastel, but just colors I can get down with that I think that will look good on my collection. And then I just definitely thought that the pink palette would actually be Lauren Mae Beauty's palette because, you know, she loves some pink. She got a pink Christmas tree. She got a pink hair and all that stuff. But this is her palette. And it's really, really pretty. And I do have some thoughts about it. Like I said, this palette retails for about $33.95 USD. And then, where is it? All right, I was looking for the unit carton. So this is the unit carton. And on the back, you do have like the ingredients and their some in English and some in Swedish. Oden's Eye is vegan and cruelty free. So the palettes are actually made in China. So that goes for both of the palettes, and they're distributed out of P Nordic AB out of Stockholm, Sweden. And once you open these palettes, they're good for about 36 months. And they have a lot number and everything here on the back right over this barcode. And then, like I said, it's the same thing. This is the Makeup for Fun palette. This is her collab. This is called A Flora Story. And, you know, I love me some purples and greens together, so I was immediately attracted to this. And both of the palettes do actually have a multi-chrome, so this is the multi-chrome that is in the Flora Story. And then we have one similar that I have on my eyes here from the Sea Talk palette, okay? So here she is. So, also, you know, when you purchase from Oden's Eye, it's definitely an experience. So this is the box it came in. so fun. And then when you open it up, and this was not extra. So that's what like I love about Oden's Eye. Like you're definitely going to get an experience when you order from them. And you got these ribbons like for free. Like it comes with the palette, so you can't even beat that. The quality is usually really great with Oden's Eye. And then you get like a bomb packaging, you get bomb curation of a story. They have a lot of thought that goes into them. You get things like keychains at Christmas or these ribbons with these legendary Diversa collections and with the Norns collection. You get super dope packaging. Like they pull it off. Like it's really thoughtful, really planned out. And then on the inside, they also have this card right here. And it talks about like the inspiration of the palette. So for Lauren has a message, Makeup Just for Fun has a message, and same with Batty Jean. And they basically said like the inspiration over this palette is just like to give back to nature. They wanted to collab with 3 friends. That's the brand said, close friends, and they have each one is something inspired by nature. So I think that's cool. And they're going to give back, I think, a little bit to some important causes. So let's go ahead and get started. And here is the first look. So I have some place to be, so I figured I'd make best use of my time since this palette actually matches my outfit. So the only thing I would say Orchid. The jury is definitely still out on this one because when I went ahead and blended it in and messed it with the shade Sage, it faded away. It got real patchy. And I noticed on this side also, it got really patchy. Also, after I laid down the shimmer, I had to go in and actually go and reapply the shade on the corner. So I don't know, but this little shimmer, Dawn, I guess it's a multi-chrome because they started putting on the multi-chromes in the shadows. And I kind of forgot about that, but it's really pretty, that little like hits of green. And I went in with Magnolia with a brush at first, but then I just realized they actually just perform a lot better with my fingers. So let me run through my face details really quick. For my waterline, I went in with my Domestic Myricks multi-chrome liner in the shade Amethyst. That's in the waterline. I took my House Labs foundation along with my NARS Radiate Creamy Concealer in the shade Caramel. And then, of course, I used my Mented Cosmetics bronzer in the shade Vacay. Went in with Night Bloom. I was like trying to put my stuff up as, you know, I wouldn't have really a mess, but Night Bloom is more of like the purple dark pink blush by Pat McGrath. And then the OG just like favorite highlighter, which is this Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter. And this is a combination that they had, or a collaboration they had with Puma. And it's just a nice golden-y, peachy highlight. And then for the lip, oh, I just put it up. It's my Fenty Beauty. Okay, I literally just put it in my purse. So this is the Fenty Beauty Stunner Lip Paint in the shade Underrated. And I use my Juvia's Place lip liner in the shade Scorpio. So, and this is my purse I'm carrying today, my Telfar bag. So I'm happy about that. So I'll talk to you guys later. I have my chapter meeting to go to. I'm a member of the Links Incorporated. So I'll be back. back, and here are two more looks using the Flora Story palette. So this one is just, it's really pretty. This one is pretty, but it's not really doing anything for me, to be quite honest. Now, I got this orchid shade to show up, but I'll tell you about it in a moment. So my face details are the same as before. I did pop on some lashes in this particular look, and these are the Demi Wispies by Ardell. Same lipstick, same everything that I talked about before. I just don't have any highlighter on. Now, the shade Orchid, I don't know. It's dusty. It's not dusty. It's pigmented, but it just blends away. So it's like you get it there and then you start, it doesn't stick here, but sometimes I have a problem with shadow sticking like right here, and I have to kind of go in and add in, and that's just my eye shape. But I just noticed that like it really blends away. And after I laid down the shade Lush, I definitely had to go in and just retouch up the Orchid. So then Lush, it's not really doing anything for me. Like the shade Misty and Magnolia, these two shades, it's like the sparkle transcends on your eyes. This one is, it's just giving aquamarine shadow. To be honest, it's not sparkly. It's not any more opulent. I used the glitter glue, used my finger. I did about 2 layers. And then I think on camera, off camera rather, I did like 1 more layer. So now it's more intense, but it's just not, it's not a bad shade, but it's just not, it's not like this one, like Misty, or like this one. And the look that I did yesterday was like absolutely beautiful. I got so many compliments when I went to chapter meeting on my eyeshadow. Now the shade Dawn is really gorgeous. It's multi-chrome. I just want to see something. So this is Dawn. Really, really pretty. And it's white base, but it's gold, but it's smooth in texture, which I like because sometimes a lot of multi-chromes that are like white base usually end up being flaky. And it has like that lime green and the gold and the orange. I just want to put it over here. It gives a little something to it. But the thing about this particular multi-chrome is I would definitely be careful. Like you see how my finger looks like this because I, you know, put this over the Lush shade. I'm definitely going to wipe off my finger not to contaminate the Dawn shade because I don't want it to be all, you know, funky looking and other colors going into it. Now, okay, putting that over it, it really helped the cause, but I'm still not like thrilled with it. But these two together are really pretty. The Dawn and the Magnolia is really pretty together. Shroom, the shade, it's pretty much my skin complexion. So, you know, it's there for a purpose, but it doesn't really serve a purpose. Okay. And now, okay, we have Clover and then we have this shade. Now the greens, those are really good. The greens, I do enjoy both of the greens. I think they held up nicely. Like they're definitely more lighter washes of color, but they show up. You can see a differential color and they don't blend out and they don't fade away. So that's good. The shade Azalea is a really nice purple. Also, I felt like that did well in the transition. Best Buds, it's cool. It's not a bad shade, but I stuck it right there in the inner corner. So right now with this palette, sad to say, we're kind of batting like a 70% because there's only 10 shades in this palette. And 2 of them, I'm like, I don't know, this purple is so pretty, but it's one of the deeper shades in the palette. And for me to build a look, you kind of need it. So I can have some type of definition. So I don't know, but yeah, I love this shade Dawn. And oh my gosh, these 2 shades, so like it's not a bad palette at all, and I'm definitely going to keep playing with it. I like it. I like the color story a lot. It's definitely giving, you know, like spring vibes. It gives pastel but not too pastel-y, and I really like greens and purples together. So yeah, I don't know. So I really like this look and the look I did yesterday. This look, but okay, I'll be back with the other palette that I purchased, which was the Restock palette. And I'm going to do 3 looks with that, of course. I'm filming this video over a couple days. I'm still giving myself a chance to just like rejuvenate, get back on track with my health and everything, because I told you I had that flare up. So yeah, but this is pretty. That shade is really pretty. This is a pretty look. All right, I'll be back. All right, I'm back. Like I never left, but baby, I've been gone, okay? So now we're gonna play with the Restock palette. So first, I think I'm gonna do a really neutral look since we have these really neutral options. And I think I'm gonna try to, you know, put a little fun little pop in there, and then we'll see what come up on the other eye. And you already know my eyelids are primed with my matte contemplative state. Let's get started. All right, I'm not happy about how this is going at all. This look, it just doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't look good. So I'm gonna clean up underneath the eye. There's a lot of fallout with the shade. The blue, the navy blue is patchy. And this is actually, I used this palette on my own off camera, and I thought the same thing when I used it. So I'm just gonna clean up. I'm trying to salvage the look. I don't think also it was a wise decision for me to put the cooler tone shade down and then the warmer tone. I thought it would mesh, but you know, it didn't. Let's see. I didn't use glitter glue. So the cooler tone was the shade Smoky Pearl. And then we had this. So I don't know. This looks better now. It looks a whole lot better now. It looks complete. You know, now that I cleaned up, but that blue, I don't know. I don't know why it's so patchy. I've never really had that with Oden's eyeshadow, so you know, I'm just trying to get these little off of my finger. I'm gonna tap back in with a little bit more of Sunken Treasure. So that was the warmer gold, and I wiped my finger off on my little towel that I have here. So here's the shade on the finger, and when I picked it up on a brush, it looked pretty opulent. It feels smooth. It feels creamy. I mean, this shade, I don't think it's necessarily terrible, but I do think it's a little bit, I don't know, not so pleased when I apply it onto the eye. Now that I put it on some more, it definitely looks better. but it doesn't look, I don't know, it just looks textured, and it's like not sitting really flush to the eye. Like the shadow, like I understand I put it over another shadow, but you know, I'm just trying to like work it in to my eye because I just feel like it's just sitting on top. And now, oh my gosh, look at all the, oh my gosh. That's just from me taking the brush. Well, okay. Ooh. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, it is literally I mean, the look is not bad, but it's not doing anything for me. I mean, I'll add on some liner or whatever, but okay, this eyelid is primed. It's ready to go. I kind of wanted to do something with the blue shadow, but it's so patchy. I don't know, because I definitely wanted to use Electric Kelp, which is like that lime green shade. So I'm gonna start back off with Dolphin Tail. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Maybe glitter glue. I should have used glitter glue. I don't know. Let's see. I think, yeah, when I used it when I went to work, I used some glitter glue. So I was trying it without glitter glue. Yeah, you're gonna need some glitter glue. Now this shade blends out nicely. I'm happy with the color of it. And it builds up pretty nicely and easy. So it's definitely like an ashier brown, which is cool. Maybe I'll take Ocean Jewel because this blue matte, and I love a navy blue matte, but it's not giving. It's not giving. So I got my glitter glue, and this is by NYX. So this brush is dirty. I really need to like not use this brush. It's dirty with like glitter glue application, but whatever. Just gonna pat this all over the lid. So now that I have that all over the lid, I'm gonna go back in with this same little tiny Tarte brush. It's dense and it allows you to pick up shadows pretty easily, like especially shimmers. So I'm gonna go in with Ocean Jewel. Oh Lord, y'all. I'm sorry. I hope y'all couldn't hear the TV. I just realized it was on faintly. And let's see, I'm gonna tap off the excess. That was a little Ari Melber in the background, MSNBC. So I'm gonna put this down. Put her in the inner corner. It's not looking too bad right now. So I'm kind of working quickly before this glitter glue dries. It's all right. Lord, it's all type of distractions, child. The dryer going off. I'm sorry, but y'all know. I do film in my kitchen at the moment because, and the furnace is going because it's, you know, it's not doing spring outside. March is marching, and March in Chicago is usually still pretty cold. So it's like 30 degrees outside. So, you know, I look like spring, but it ain't spring, okay? Moment of truth. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna go in with Sea Spring because I have not used that shade. I've used a mermaid scale. That was pretty. So this is Sea Spring. I'm gonna try it with my finger. I don't know. It's a sheer shade, you know, it has a base to it, but it's, oh. This is such a pretty palette, but honestly, I am struggling so bad right now. I'm gonna take my little flat definer brush, go in with Electric Help. That's what it looks like when you pick it up. It's definitely a satin sheer shade. So it doesn't look, it just looks okay. I mean, with this combination in this inner corner, I think it just looks okay. I'm failing. How can I say this? Okay. So, I'm gonna take my little blender brush. I'm gonna go in with Night Swim, the navy blue. And I don't know, it's like this shade, even if you stamp it in, it sometimes when you start blending, it just gets a little patchy. Kind of blend it in, taking my time. Okay, that looks pretty good right there, okay? Go back in with Ocean Jewel. This is the Ocean Jewel shade. This is what it looks like when it's on my finger. This shade, I don't know. So, here's the thing. Sometimes you do have to be careful with the Oden's formula because, I don't know, the fingers work best, but then sometimes I do notice it'll try to hard pan on you. Okay. With Sea Spray. That's here. And Sea Spray, it's a very iridescent, it's a pretty shade. I don't know. There we go. We're doing better. We're doing better. We're doing better. Okay. It's like no different. I mean, it's a little bit when you see here only because like that Night Swim is there. Okay, I'm gonna take a little iridescent shell. It's just one of those little sticky formulas. Well, it's no more pink, it's reading blue, but it does get some shine. I'm just gonna like smooth out my application. Y'all know I like pretty neat application. I'll be back. I'm going to clean up my face. I'm gonna put some eyeliner on. I'm gonna put some lashes on. We'll talk about it. I'm back, and the little dancing you saw, like, ooh, it was like a mood booster because I was really getting upset working with this because I love Oden's Eye, and although I don't watch Lauren Mae Beauty a lot, I really like her, and I'm like, the color story is gorgeous, and I want to use this, and shadow was everywhere, and I do feel better about the looks. So if I was just to like look at the looks, I'd be like, oh, this is pretty, you know, it's working, it's doing something, but I mean, honestly, it can do better. I wanted to have gradients here to show the shifts. It did not work out. I do like the little pop of yellow. And over here, we got the blue acting right. The blue over here looking like black, to be honest. And this isn't looking so bad, but it was messy as I don't know what. So let's run through the face details real quick. So, basically my usual products. I did go in with my Rare Beauty foundation. I wear the shade 430W, and I thought I was like on the way to panning this, but then now it just seems like magically more got in there. I don't know. I'm confused. Anywho, you already know it's my bronzer by Minted Cosmetics in the shade Vacay. We are working on using her up. Then I went in with one of my favorite highlighters that I've seen to have broken the top of, or like it came detached. This is a Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter in the shade. It's actually a collaboration with Puma in the shade Knockout, but it's just a nice goldeny, kind of peachy, warm highlight. There's so many highlighters like this on the market. Use whatever you have. I mean, honestly. I hit pan on this in 2019, and it's still going. Best $8, okay? Anywho, I have on my Bite lipstick in the shade Glace. Rest in peace, Bite. Right, because, yeah, they're not really going on. So, on this eye, I use my NYX liner in the shade just black. What is it? And black, yeah, it's a vinyl liner. NYX. So I was gonna do the blue on here, and then I looked at the navy blue and I was like, it's reading like black, so let me just use the black. On this eye, I did my NYX liner in the shade Sapphire. So it gave it a little extra pop. I think it came out cute. It kind of tied the look together. Instead of doing more blue on the bottom, which I originally intended to do, okay, I used my Danessa Myricks liner in the shade Amethyst. Topped off with a little Demi Wispy eyelashes by Ardell, and that's the look. Oh, my blush is from Isabel Cosmetics, the Best of May palette. I do have a code, which is Dr. Ash, and I use Me Gustas. It's just a nice pink. So, yeah. So, I don't even know what to say. The blue is patchy. The browns are good. The navy is patchy. It's just patchy. It is what it is. The gold is crumbly. You're going to have to put a little bit on the time. I don't know. I'm going to wipe this off. We're going to do one more look. We're going to hope it comes out better. Now, I did use like the shade that I plan on using in the video, Mermaid Scale. I used this to go to work, and it was pretty. It lasted all day. I'm going to try it again. I'm going to show that shade off since I haven't filmed with it. And yeah, we'll wrap up because I know this video is probably long. So I'll be right back. Look number 3. Now this I'm happy with. It's very pretty. I still think the navy shade, which is called, what is this? Night Swim. I still think it's patchy. But I think it applied a lot better actually when I went in with this What's Up Beauty brush. And this is just like a flat shader brush, but this is a natural hair brush. So as opposed to, I was using my BK Beauty 203, which is a synthetic brush. But then when I went to blend it out, it still got patchy. And it's still like right there. I'm not a fan of the shade. So I will probably just like maybe dip into navy blue shade of my own. Just excuse my art because it's doing that reverse tear thing. So that's not the shadow. That's actually me. Electric Help in the corner, like giving a little bit more boldness to it. I laid it down first so that way you can kind of really see it versus just kind of popping it in like more of a, I don't want to say afterthought, but like an afterthought, like a finishing touch. So sometimes I just need that little outline just to keep the shadow there. Now this shade right here, oh my goodness, the little multi-chrome shade. Now Mermaid Scale is very pretty. It's really, really pretty. I laid it down with some glitter glue, of course. And I think it's really pretty. It has a nice formula to it. It is like a creamier, a little bit stickier texture. It's definitely not like the multi-chrome that's in the other palette, where that is definitely more like a more silky formula, more, you know, has a lot of mica in it, but both are very pretty. So I am happy with that. So this is the one I was talking about previous in the other palette. Now, when I put down Sea Spray right here, I think it played well. So overall, I'm happy with this look. I'm still, honestly, with both of these palettes, it's still like something that's bugging me about them. And it's not the creators, it's not the color stories, but it's just the performance of the shadows. And if I'm to be honest, sometimes Oden's Eye can be just a little hard to work with. Now, I felt like the Christmas palettes were really great. Like, I didn't really have any trouble with those particular palettes. The collection where it was the Legendary Diversa with the 3 creators, I had a Nets palette and Tina the Fancy Faces palette, and I felt like one of the shades in a Nets palette was just hard to kind of blend out. I feel like the creators both did a very excellent job as far as curating the color story. I felt like it felt fresh, felt new, it felt fun, it felt innovative. I was very surprised to see Lauren like not have the pink palette, but with the blue, but with her pink hair, and it pops in. I think it's very representative of her, and she does like some neutrals, and of course like her fun pops of color. The color can be like bold, but it's not bold at the same time. However, it's the formula for me. I felt like it was just a little bit too hard to work with, and that's on Oden's Eye. And it's just something that's bugging me about the palettes. I don't know what it is yet. I can't quite put my finger on it. I don't dislike it, but I'm not in love with it. Yeah, I'm not in love with it. So, but I think they did a great job. So I don't want to discredit the creators. And I'm not just like tipping around across my words because of the creators, but that's just like honest to feelings. Like, I feel like this look looks gorgeous. Like, it's beautiful. The look I did where I was on the way to my chapter meeting, that look was gorgeous. I didn't have any problem laying it down. I did feel like this particular shade was just like dull. It kind of just seemed like that shimmer didn't like transcend through the rest of the shadow like it did with these two, and I talked about that earlier. Everything else was pretty much okay, and then this purple was patchy. So I don't know what's going on with like the manufacturing where those particular darker, deeper shades are patchy. And for me, that could be an issue because, especially on my skin complexion and the way my eyes are set up, I kind of need that deeper color to actually bring focus to here and to kind of structure my eye look, because my eyes are somewhat hooded. So if you see here, so I always kind of depend on that color to just kind of bring the structure. And if I don't have that color, it's like, but overall, the palettes are really pretty. If you're interested in them, I don't know if I could say like, yes, go ahead, because I'm just so on the fence. But I will keep playing with them. I will come back with an update when I do like my palette roundup. Maybe you'll see them in a palette rotation. I feel like this shimmer is really, really pretty. I feel like there are some standout shades in these palettes. So it's not all a loss. It's just not hitting all the buttons. I still feel a way about it. I was super irritated when I was trying to create this look. Now, I feel like I salvaged the looks with this particular palette. This one was by far very easy to create, but I was just like, here I am going in with this blue, and I know it's patchy, so just tread lightly. But for the sake of the video, I just wanted to use this particular palette. Like, if I was using this in my day-to-day life, I probably just go in with like a Viseart navy blue, or I have a Pat McGrath navy blue, and from the Celestial Nirvana, and I have a few other blends bunny. I will probably just use some of, now the lighter mattes, they did well. They actually blended up and they showed up like on my skin complexion. So that was good. I feel like that's great and solid, and they kind of took that into account. I feel like if you're a little bit deeper though, maybe not with this shade. And then in this particular palette, this shade. But overall, I was pleased that I could like start my look off, but just knowing that the shimmers are pretty much okay, except for I feel like in the Sea Talk palette, like it did look good, but I don't know, I have to work with them. I'm definitely just going to be like glitter glue it, keep it moving, don't even waste my time. And I don't have a problem with doing the glitter glue. Some people do. It doesn't bother me at all. Not at all. But even with the glitter glue, well, I didn't have glitter glue, but I had the Mayron and I just tapped it. It has so much fallout. But overall, I feel like the presentation is beautiful. I love how we have like the box and, you know, like you get the whole vibe and the whole experience when you order from Oden's with the scarves. I didn't actually intend to order the scarves, but when I was ordering them, you know, the stuff sells out so fast. I was like, oh, that's all available. That's fine. And I think the scarves are pretty. I usually just save them. Like I don't have a makeup room per se where I can just like display all these beautiful things. So it's like, okay, you know, so, but overall, I don't know where I stand. Let me know what eye look you like. I like this look the best. And then from the Flora Store palette, I like the look where I was going to out for the day for my chapter meeting. So, yep. That's what it is. Sometimes these reviews are just like, what to do. I don't know how to feel. Aggravated. I just needed that mood boost like in the middle of it to like not make me frustrated. But yeah. Well, leave me a comment down below. Give this video a big old thumbs up. Hit the notification bell so you know when I come out with another video, which will be soon. And subscribe to my channel because, you know, I would love to have you here in my little makeup family. And with all of that being said, you already know what time it is. It's time for the chair dance. Chair dance. Hey, 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 chair dance. Chair dance. Hey, chair dance. All right, y'all. Bye.